So before we get into it, what have you seen in Cannes so far that's been amazing, shocking, surprising?
The build out of the beach.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. I've been here before without the build up of the beach, and it's the installations that are here, the everybody just really going all out.
Yeah.
Was pretty shocking to me.
Yeah.
But in a good way. It's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I saw the Spotify thing was amazing. Twitter beach. It's like every brand beach.
Right.
walking down the street.
It's crazy. I know you said your son is here, and he's probably overwhelmed.
He's going up and down everywhere. He's having a ball.
Yeah. I'm hearing so many family members are coming to this for the first time that people are bringing. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's great. So while you're here, like if you had to list 2 or 3 things that you really want to accomplish this week, what are they?
Meet with the agency partners that I'm already working with. Really understand what people's goals are long term, and make sure that they understand that Reach is here, and we're looking to finish up some of the deals we're working on.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Great. And so we are the Brand Safety Summit. We produce the Brand Safety Summit, and we produce Brand Safety Week. And more, we think that brand safety is current events, right? Because when you think about or current events anyway in the media industry, because if something happens, whether it's an ad fraud attack, whether it's a change in regulation or something, it's the news about the industry. And so we thought it made sense for us to be producing the news from Cannes as the Brand Safety Summit. And so that's why we're here. And so we're looking to get executives like yourself to kind of share some feelings on current events. Yeah. And so one of the things that we're working on and working on together with the folks at Group Black as well is a DE&I summit we're going to be doing in November in New York City. We're about to announce where it is. It's going to be a cool spot. We haven't said it yet, but it's going to be cool. And so I've been working on my opening keynote. And so I want you to react to this, because one of the things that I'm thinking about is the point is simply I don't like D&I, right? And it's not that I don't, right? But and it's funny because if you think about it from the perspective of when you want to say something and get people's attention, you say something that makes them uncomfortable, right? So it's not that I don't believe in D&I, right? I believe strongly in D&I. I think equality, equity, inclusion is really important. What I don't like is the order of the letters, right? I think it really should be IED. But IED is a completely different thing, right? But
what show are we on?
Yeah, exactly. But really, it's the reason I think I should be first, right? Bottom line, because I think it's easy for executives to say, I'm going to hire people in this group, in this racial group, in this socioeconomic group, in this age group. I mean, there's so many different types of diversity, right? It's not just about race, and so I'm going to hire them. But how am I actually going to make an inclusive culture in my organization? And we were just talking about your son being here, and I have kids too, and we all tell our kids, right, celebrate your differences, and at the same time be inclusive, right? So that's we think those two things together of how hard of a conversation this is. So anyway, how do you react when I say that?
I think you're spot on. I think the DEI is kind of like a filler now. I have 2 statements on that. Number 1, last year I told everybody in my company, we're building a business that's building a business. We're not worrying about any of this because people have short memories. So if this is 1 year or 5 years, we're going to build the business the right way, which we've been doing for the last 6 years. Now, specifically on this, I skipped the D because it's just such a generic thing, diversity, generic. I go right to E. And E to me is equity. And when I go to the upfronts and I'm talking to the agencies, I tell them directly, equity is when you invest, take that I, and you invest in companies like Reach, and you give us upfront deals, it allows me to retain the equity in my business. And with equity, that changes generations, that changes families, that changes businesses. And when you give, say right now, Black-owned media the ability to have equity and have upfront dollars and I say predictable revenue, it allows me to include the people I want to include. It allows me to go and make content with the people I know we should be making content. It allows me to bring culture and community together and produce and do the things that I always want to do, but you now have the revenue predictable and that you can lean on so you can invest yourself into those things.
Yeah, culture and community actually came up in another one of our sessions too, and I think those are great words as we start to think about this too. I have this other thesis, because I like the word invest as well, right? I think that's that minority-owned media, or even small independent media, right, is akin to your local hardware store, right? It's like you go to the local hardware store, they know you, they know what you buy, they know your products, they could help you, but they're probably more expensive than Home Depot, right? And a smaller publisher, whoever creates it, is going to know you better, you're going to be with the audience better, and it's probably more expensive than targeting a group in a big platform, right? And so the question is, will marketers ultimately pay up for the cultural relevance?
I'll answer that question two ways. Number one, just look at what happened to hardware stores, right? So it was easier for Walmart just to come in and people spend all their money in one place. So that's the problem with marketers. A lot of times you don't get fired buying Facebook. You don't get fired buying Walmart. You don't get fired buying the thing that everybody buys. So it's who's going to step out of that and who's going to give them the ability and security that they don't get fired for investing in this hardware store, investing in this smaller media. They have to have the leeway from management down and from brands down. I think the mistake that a lot of people are making is they're bringing in the brand after.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the brand and the agency should be walking side by side, hand in hand, and then making decisions together. Because then there's the accountability is you did this together.
Yeah.
And that allows for them to actually invest in these smaller things because the culture is more important than the result.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if they keep investing, they'll get the result. It may take a little bit longer, but they'll get the result. And
right.
Mark Pritchard yesterday from the beach, at the event, the Group Black event, he said, the more you invest in new content, you're creating new inventory.
Right.
And when you're creating new content with Black creators and giving them an opportunity, you're getting more authentic stories that makes more people want to be included and more people see themselves on camera. So I think that's the overall way of getting to your goal of the local hardware shop.
Yeah.
It takes real leadership and real partnership from brand agency executives all the way down the chain.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's overnight, but that's a process that is going to have to take place.
Well, none of this is overnight, right? None of it. I don't care. Anything, I work in the brand safety business, right? And that's not overnight either, right? It's something changing regulation does it. So anyway, we're on the mission.
Yes.
We're on the mission. Well, thank you for your time. This is great. I really appreciate it. And thanks everybody for listening. This was the news from Cannes.